Okay, this is my report on San Diego Comic Con Marvel Cinema Universe. I will start with the animated stuff that's in the works, then I will work into the big screen and little screen live action shows. I was not in San Diego, but I watched some of the panels and stuff coming out over the last several couple days. The first one that they brought up was a series with I Am Groot, which has starts August 10th, and Bradley Cooper is going to be doing the voice of Rocket Raccoon, which he does in the Guardians of the Galaxy series. I don't know. It looks more kind of kid friendly. I don't know. Well, Star Trek Project was kid friendly, and I love that, so I don't know. Van Diesel will be returning as Groot, the voice of Groot. Spider-Man freshman year. Uh, I don't know. I guess it's gonna be the origins of, again, for the 20 millionth time in animation, the origins of Spider-Man. Instead of um, Tony Stark being his mentor as he is in the Marvel Universe, in the movies and that, Norman Osborn is going to be his mentor. That should be interesting. Charlie Cox will be in at least one episode as Daredevil, the voice of Daredevil. What If Season 2? We have Captain Carter returning in a storyline. What if Steve Rogers had became that universe's Winter Soldier? So the Hydra Stomper that he used in the Captain Carter episode will be back, but he's not on the same good. And they're also doing Neil Gaiman's 1602 in a What If. 1602 was a storyline where a lot of the Marvel characters, probably their ancestors, though they all had the same abilities, like Stephen Strange and that, and Professor X, but they're in the 1600s, and like people with mutant powers are considered witches and all that. It was a brilliantly done series, and I can't wait to see that. Marvel Zombies. I'm not a zombie fan, I'm sorry. Did not like Walking Dead. I've watched a few episodes, just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm not into gore. Um, the What If episode with Marvel Zombies was pretty good, though. So it should be interesting. X-Men 97. It's a continuation of the Fox Network's X-Men cartoon. It has all the original X-Men. I mean, from the TV series, plus Magneto, Cable, Bishop, Sunspot, among others. And the villains include the Hellfire Club, which I liked. I like them better as a villain than I do as a hero. Um, and that's coming. I don't have a date on it. I'm sorry. Okay, round two, live action, and yeah, it's all live action. They announced at the beginning that the She-Hulk Attorney Law in Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2 are the last two parts of Phase 4. Things about, I wasn't that impressed with the She-Hulk trailer, the first one. The second one was a lot better. We do have Mark Ruffalo back as the Hulk. We have the Abomination back from the Hulk, one of the Hulk movies. Um, we have Charlie Cox in it in a live action Daredevil. I don't know if it's a one shot or a guest, or if he's going to be recurring as Matt Murdock. Since Matt Murdock is a lawyer, I don't know. It looks good. One neat thing at the start of the Marvel Cinema Universe um, um, panel, they brought up Miss Minutes on the computer screen. That's the character that was like an AI in the TV series Loki. It was kind of neat. Okay, Black Panther 2, Wakanda. Apparently it starts out with the death, after the death of T'Challa. For those that don't know, there can't be too many that don't know, Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther in the first Black Panther movie and the Avengers movies, and Captain America Civil War, had died of cancer right after he filmed the Avengers Endgame. Prince Namor, the Submariner, one of the oldest heroes in comics. He goes back to World War II in publishing and character-wise. He was the second mutant ever in Marvel history. The first one was Apocalypse, of course. That ends Phase 4. Phase 5, I am looking forward to the first one. I didn't think I was. Not that big of a fan of the first two movies. They grew on me, though. Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania. Kang the Conqueror. Can't wait. One of my all-time favorite Avengers villains. He started out as a Fantastic Four villain called Rama Tut. Then he was introduced in Marvel Avengers as Kang the Conqueror. Then he later became He Who Remains, or he's somewhere in between there, which they used in the Loki series, his character. And then he became Immortus. He's the guy who controls limbo and manipulates time. Cassie Lang, Scott's daughter, is going to become the superhero that she is in the movie. In the comic books, she's a character called Stature of the comics. She can become like Giant Man, huge. Bill Murray's in this movie. I don't know what he's doing. I presume he's not playing a villain. I hope not. They need to keep that seriously. MODOK is introduced. He played somebody named Chris Cross or something like that, in either one or two is going to become MODOK. MODOK is a giant head with tiny arms and legs that flies around in a chair called machine organism desired only for killing or something like that. Secret Invasion is next. Secret Invasion is going to was done not that long ago in the comic books, where the Skrulls kidnapped key people in the world, including Avengers, superheroes, and replaced them with Skrulls. They're going to do that with the TV series that's going to be on Disney Plus. It's going to be a very dark thriller, they're saying. Samuel L. Jackson is back, and so is James Rhodes. And they said Nick Fury does not have an eye patch. So is the one with the eye patch, was he a Skrull? Or is the one without the eye patch a Skrull? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was not that big of a fan. 1 and 2, just the Guardians of the Galaxy was a whole different team for me. I'll get into that later in another video. They introduced Yondu in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and Stakar, played by Sylvester Stallone. Those are two characters in about 1,000 years in the future are superheroes or heroes fighting an evil empire called the Badoon. We see Adam Warlock. Finally, Adam Warlock was a artificially made super being by a bunch of humans called the Enclave. He became a hero in the Marvel Universe, became an alternate version of him from the future, became a villain. He controlled the Mind Stone and the Infinity Stones, and should be interesting. The villain is the High Evolutionary. Now that's really going back. High Evolutionary was a character who used science to so-called create evolution. He would take like a cow and make it into a humanoid cow. That humanoid cow would live in a hut at the bottom of Wundagore Mountain, and she helped raise Wanda and Pietro, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. He created an army of men and women animals, humanoids. Knights of Wundagore, I believe they were called. Some great characters. They were killed off, but they were great characters. Should be interesting. Loki Season 2. There's all kinds of rumors. There was not much given out online on the San Diego Comic Con. There was a character that was introduced in Marvel UK. Marvel Comics had their own comic line. The Transformers was part of that, and Doctor Who was part of that. Judge Dredd was, I think, another one. They created a character called Death's Head, Deaths Head. He appeared in Transformers. Then he later appeared in Doctor Who, and he has appeared in the American Marvel comics. And so apparently he is rumored to be one of the villains. I'm also hearing the Squadron Supreme might be in this. The Squadron Supreme was an obvious replica of the Justice League of America, down to the last T. Hyperion was Superman. Dr. Spectrum was Green Lantern. Power Princess was Wonder Woman. Nighthawk was Batman, etc., etc. That's in the works. Marvels. No, I'm sorry, Echo. Echo's next. Echo is a spin-off of Hawkeye, the Hawkeye series, where a woman who was like an assassin who was mute and is able to replicate anybody's fighting skills. That I don't know if I'm going to watch that. Was not a fan of Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel was too teenage angst in the first few minutes, so I quit that. The Marvels. I don't know. They're really trying to screw Brie Larson over, making her less and less of a character in the series. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to see it. I don't know that much about it, but we'll see. Blade is next. They're redoing Blade. Personally, I'd like to see bring Wesley Snipes back and continue, but they're going with somebody Mahershala Ali or something like that. Ironheart. Ironheart is a female Iron Man who in the comic books was an Oriental woman who created her own armor. She wasn't ripping off Tony Stark, so she created her own version. That might be interesting. She's also going to be in Wakanda forever. So it should be, yep. Agatha, Cauldron of Chaos, or Coven of Chaos. Sequel to Scarlet Witch and WandaVision. I loved Agatha Harkness. She was a brilliant character and a brilliant actress. I'm looking forward to this one. Daredevil is coming back in a series called Born Again. This storyline, from what I was able to glean, was Karen Page, Matt Murdock's longtime lover, had gotten AIDS and had a serious drug problem. And she traded Matt Murdock's identity to the Kingpin's people for drugs. So Matt Murdock's identity was revealed. Karen Page died of AIDS in the storyline. I don't know if I'm not a huge Daredevil fan, I'm sorry. So I'm not sure if I'll watch it. Captain America, New World Order. I can't find anything on New World Order. I know it was a comic book storyline in the old Captain America. I just can't find it. If anybody out there has any information, please put in the comments below. Then, the one that has really got my interest, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts in Marvel Comics started out, there was a huge storyline called the Onslaught Saga where the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and a bunch of, pretty much everybody that was not a mutant died. Reed Richards' son, Franklin, had the ability to warp reality, and he had a blue toy ball he used to play with, and he put all those heroes into that ball and created an alternate Earth. I believe it became a new Counter-Earth. Counter-Earth was on the other side of the sun. The Thunderbolt showed up as a bunch of new heroes nobody had ever heard of, and a World War II European hero called Citizen V. And they were there to fill in this empty space of the dead heroes. Except for one thing, they weren't heroes. They were the masters of evil, which included Baron Zemo Jr., Moonstone, and a bunch of old villains who took on their powers were changed a little bit, or their weapons and that to make them look different, and they pretended to be heroes. Most of them turned into good guys. Ironically, they liked being a hero. Then the movie I've been waiting for. I hope they do better than the other 3, 4, 5 attempts. Fantastic Four is coming in August 2024. Let's hope they get it right this time. They haven't yet. It's been, 4 Fantastic Four movies? Yeesh. One of them never even made it out. They shelved it and swore nobody would ever see it again. At this point in San Diego Comic-Con, Kevin Feige goes, "Let's talk Phase 6, 2025. And he goes, he said, "There's a lot of stuff missing, but here is the last 2 films titles. Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. So Jonathan Majors is going to be around the Marvel Universe for a long time. I hope we see him a lot more than just the Ant-Man movies. I think Loki, I think he's back into this. And the last one is Avengers Secret Wars. I'm going, how can they do that? Doctor Doom hasn't been introduced. A lot of the characters haven't been introduced. And I realized there was another Secret Wars where the thousands of Marvel alternate realities were under attack and they all merged into one world. I'm guessing that's the storyline they're going to do. This is where the Illuminati was introduced. There's some great stuff coming from Marvel. There's still stuff missing. I was told a long time ago on the panel that the character of Nova, which is a teen superhero played by Richard Rider, then Sam something later, was supposed to be getting his own movie. They introduced the Nova, of course, in the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Glenn Close played the leader of them. So I'm wondering where that is. And I don't know anybody. Man, noticed, but where are the mutants? Where are the X-Men? We were supposed to be getting the X-Men sometime. There's another convention or a Marvel thing of their own coming up called D23. And a lot of us are betting that the X-Men will be revealed and the other stuff will be revealed. Or Nova, that was it. I couldn't think of it. So, well, that's it for now. If you like what I do, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And help me get over 25. I've been at 24 for a few weeks. I'd like to get up. Start going higher again. I was growing slowly but surely. Now I'm just stagnant. Any comments, any suggestions, and please keep the language clean in the comments, and I will answer them. Talk to you soon.